We go on vacation in less than 2 weeks, so I'm like, no more snack days.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough.
Well,
over
yeah,
here.
because when you go on vacation, let's not be like, I can't eat that. It's like, you know what? We're eating it. I can't eat that. I'm on a diet. Well, get out of here.
Well, yeah, but they're going
Out of
to
this restaurant.
They're going to a beach and a resort, so
Yeah.
beforehand they gotta.
All the fresh food. I am hoping they have like amazing.
Fuck fish, dude.
Oh
Look,
my God.
Fish sucks, asshole. That's all I'm saying.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Get the fish mix where they give you like those crab cakes. Oh my God.
Crab cake.
Ooh. I'll eat them all. Don't think I'm sharing, because they're gonna be gone. I inhale them. I'm like, ugh, fish.
No.
I used to hate it.
You don't
Now I
like
eat fish salads every day.
Or like soup.
Yeah, fake sushi,
Sushi's so good.
but fake sushi. Like I don't want real sushi. Real sushi, I
Frank,
can have a
Go
couple
to
pieces
the
and then I'm
store.
done.
Get Bumblebee tuna. Get the same brand, Bumblebee smoked salmon. Change your
Yeah.
freaking life.
No, that's good. Smoked salmon, but that's like white people fish. That's what I'm saying. Like
Mackerel.
That's fine.
Mackerel is a fatty fish, really good for your health, your skincare, nails, whatever. Mackerel by King Oscar, best brand apparently. I looked it all up. Have it on a salad. Put in all the stressful ingredients. Put in anything that's
Did you say stressful ingredients?
yeah,
Are you
stressful.
yelling at
Stressful. You know when
vegetables?
you know when you have like
fuck
an
you
olive
talking
and it's so seasoned that you're just like, this is mildly stressful. It's very flavorful.
No.
It's just like flavor explosion in your mouth. The Italian mix that I had you try, you remember when you put that olive in your mouth and it's like boom, you're like, well, okay, Italians. They're like, hello, it's Italian.
It's pronounced Italian.
Italian. Anyway,
Not
put it in there.
Italian.
It's not Italy.
Yeah, it's not idly, idiot.
I'll call it idly. Well, we have the same thing. Arkansas and Kansas.
Let's say this.
It's literally Kansas, but we
It's-
say Arkansas.
Yeah, it's Arkansas.
And foreigners are like, what the hell?
I know we don't make sense. It makes me.
Nobody makes sense. You know what my joke was going to be?
What?
Italy did not idly stand by as the Nazis took over Europe.
Let's make it political. Walk it in,
Who
Frank.
the hell's on Italy's side during World War II? Okay, that's an easy win. To basically be like, let's not be Nazis. I think most people agree with that these days.
Yeah, they do.
Besides
I
the
watched the other
Nazis.
day. Well, Japan was kind of.
I know, the
Same.
Axis.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And we
Just saying.
benefit now from all of the shit
Well,
that the Nazis
absolutely.
did.
Okay. What are we here for? Are we?
Danielle, we have to kill an hour though. Podcast. We don't just go
We
straight
like
into the book.
we
don't
like
have much to talk
secretly
about.
changed the book. We secretly changed the book to a World War II. Danielle comes
history.
in like, "What are we talking about?" We're
Ken
like,
Burns. Ken
remember that-
Burns documentary about World War II. It's a 28-hour
and then like
miniseries.
aggressively turned toward Danielle with the microphone. And was like, "What do you think about that?" And she's like, "I don't even know what we're talking about." You're like, "So you're unprepared? Is that what you're saying?" Yes. So you don't automatically hate Nazis? Yes, of course I do. So hatred is part of your.
She's on her
what you're all
Kanye
doing.
arc. She's on her Kanye arc, man. She can't
And you're
give up
just
the
like-
Yeezys.
Well, no matter what she says, you're just like roasting her. She's like, "I'm leaving." Okay.
Get him out. Thanks.
That was my plan all along, is to act like I wanted to be with you guys and then slowly wear you down to where you said, fuck this guy, and you left. And then I'd be like, look, I tried.
Well, let me tell you, like,
And then
I'm more
I keep all
devastating
the I
news,
keep
Frank.
all the I keep all the rights to the podcast. I keep all the rights to the podcast. You guys get zero money of this blooming
I have more
empire that
devastating
we're
news.
building.
No, you have to listen to my news, you guys.
No, I'm done. Goodbye.
It's literally devastating. Frank mutes me.
I was
Danielle's
thinking
just
about
like,
it. I was thinking
I
about
can't
it.
hear you, but
will
I
not.
feel you. No, I had a spider in my room, and it was up there, and I saw him, and he was not nice. He looked at me. I was like, I can tell you're not nice. You don't feel good about this relationship right now. But I was like, complimenting him. I was like, if you're going for intimidating, I'm intimidated by you. You're doing a really good job. I'm scared. I know you're scared. And so you're trying to be intimidating, but you're doing a really good job. So I was talking to him and he did not back down. He was looking at me like, F you. And I was like, whoa. Usually I get a better response. Tell mom about it. Mom's like, well, if you think about it, because I told him the spider, I was like, if you were bigger, I would befriend you and I would ride you and you would, it would be like the best. No, they'd be so soft.
No,
anyway,
they're disgusting.
So yeah, they're really soft. Anyway, listen. So I go upstairs. So I'm talking to mom about it. Mom's like, well, if they were bigger, you would be their food. And I was like, no. And she was like, yes, you would. And I was like, no, I wouldn't. I would befriend it and I would ride it because it needs a friend. She's like, no, it doesn't. You're delusional. She called me delusional.
Oh, mom.
Right to my face. I was like, are you saying that I can't be like Hagrid? She's like, I'm saying you can't be like Hagrid. I'm like,
okay.
All right, what's happening in this house?
But
of course I can't be.
What happens after, what's his name?
Aragog?
Aragog dies. What happens then, Victoria?
It's so sad.
They try to eat Harry and Ron.
Which is why we befriend them. And we keep befriending more of them, so then that doesn't happen.
I can't. It's not in my DNA makeup. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Fuck spiders.
Yes.
I don't kill them. Listen, Victoria, I don't kill them. Like when I see them around and everything, I let them be. But I'm just saying, if it comes to war, all right, we're doing it.
Right. They gotta go.
I think I would be fearsome if I was riding a spider. I think everybody would be scared of
Yeah,
me.
Victoria, you would be
would.
fearsome, but guess what? It's gross. So you're gross and nobody would like you.
They're not gross, they're nice.
They're disgusting. I'm sorry.
But anyway, he left my room. I think he went up to mom because mom was bashing on him all the time, so I think she's gonna get bit.
I don't want to talk about this subject anymore.
Yeah, this is disgusting.
called me delusional.
I hate thinking
And
about
after I had
spiders.
just told her that it wouldn't eat me, it would eat my enemies. And then I think it went upstairs and it's planning its attack. And we're not gonna know when it happens.
Yeah, Mom already killed it, is the funny thing.
That's not funny.
No, just...
She keep on there
I'm
vacuuming
sorry,
that
I'm
thing
sorry, I'm
up.
sorry.
Oh my god. How would you I'm gonna vacuum you up. You're not gonna like how it feels.
Suffocate me.
Next time I visit, Danielle's like, I'm like, it's always about the login. It's just a video camera with me in the vacuum. I turned it on. And she was like, she's like,
I went way darker, and I imagined you putting a plastic bag over my head.
oh my god.
I know. It was dark. Dude, you know what I was
Mine
thinking?
was like innocent vacuum.
Yeah, yours is innocent, but I'm the tortured one. Also the handsome one. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Handsome and tortured, best combination. Every movie
True.
displays that, obviously.
True. Yeah.
He lost his
Fudge.
train of thought. He's
I
thinking
did.
about the bag over his head.
Oh,
Put a bag
I
over
was
his head.
thinking.
It'll help him remember.
Yeah, lack of oxygen, asphyxiation. Anyway, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking there should be a service because so not this. I'm not going gross with it. I'm not. No, we're not talking about.
Okay, keep going.
But I am pro sex workers. If you're a sex worker, do your thing. But I am so sick and tired of watching something on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, and a scary commercial comes up. I'm sick of it, and I'm tired of it. And so I think there should be a opt out of stop scaring my ass when I'm laying in bed at night, because I don't want to have bad dreams,
Of
dude.
The Haunting or some weird.
Yes. And
Why are they showing that?
Because
On
it's
commercials?
advertisements.
Movies.
Yes.
they're showing you movies. Yeah, they're like, check out this new movie, and it's like I don't want to see
that.
Well, if you watch
mine.
episodes on Amazon Prime, because it did it to me when I was watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and in between the episodes, it'll show you a preview to a movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Not nice.
Yeah, it's not. It's bull. And so I was thinking is, if they scare me too much, I'm going to sue their asses. And I think I would win. But I would have to go to a mental institution probably for a little bit. So if you guys will back me on that and say he is insane,
Wow.
then listen, I'll share some money with you.
I don't want to say bad things about you.
You're just saying I'm crazy. That I went crazy from watching movies. That's an easy enough stretch.
For
Have
a
you heard my
long
political
time,
views?
For a long time, we've been fighting against men being able to just call us crazy for having emotions and expressing them. I'm not going to start calling guys crazy for having emotions and expressing them.
Well, then you're not getting any of the money. You're not getting any of the money. Danielle, you in?
I don't want money.
I will give you.
How many times do I have to tell people it? Everybody I talk to is like, money, 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 money. And I'm like, I don't want it. No thanks.
You're going to have to get McKenna on board because I can't either.
Fuck both of you. How about that?
All right.
How about this? Now my plan is to put both of you in a mental institution, and then I will collect the very low amount of disability checks or whatever you get. I don't know what it is.
Put the bags on our heads, but then describe the reason that you did it wasn't to kill us. It was to make us happy. And then you'll go to the mental institution and we'll both be dead. Take out insurance on Danielle and I. Here's the plan. Like, I'm so enabling that I help someone kill me so they can be happy.
What are we doing?
Them to live their best life.
What are we doing right now?
I don't.
I'm like, I got plans for you.
I'm glad this is all recorded.
Yes. I was just kidding. I would never defraud a company.
I would never defraud a company. I would never put a bag on my sister's head.
Hey, listen. That's family, so the government stays out of family.
Nobody gets to talk about what I do to my
That's terrifying, though.
Asphyxiation, yeah.
No, thinking that someone could put you in a mental institute.
Dude. Yeah. Like you guys know about the Britney saga where she had her her dad be her conservator or whatever, and she fought it forever, and she finally basically got.
Why would you be able to be that over an adult though?
I know, it's crazy because they show that they're not capable.
They're unstable, and she had a
Let's not say unstable. Okay, let's say they're not capable of making rational decisions. How about we just be a little softer?
Well, she was kind of traumatized and tortured from the media. Like, who wouldn't be in a state where it's just like, damn, I can't handle this. And but it's like she was having, what was she? She was having a baby and they flipped out any relationship she had. They made a whole thing up about her.
Well, she was sexualized too at a young age.
Yeah, and they made a feud between her and Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton, and we're always talking about how they're kind of, one was calling the other a whore, and they were like, that's all they were like. It was just awful. She's having a full breakdown and they're just following her.
I know.
Well, yeah, it's just, it's awful. Cringe culture, man. Dude, I watched I've watched half of it now, a podcast where it was interviewing Rebecca Black. Do you guys remember the song It's Friday?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Friday.
Of course we do.
And basically the internet hated that song. And
it was so bad.
It was a bad song. Nobody disagrees on that. It's not a great song.
Friday.
But she didn't.
Your limo. No, it's a
convertible.
Your convertible.
Yeah. So,
gotta get down on Friday.
But apparently the story is, and the interview I watched was on the H3 podcast. So if you want to see it, go check that out. But the story is she had a friend that went and made a music video. And she thought it was cool. And Rebecca Black was in choir and she was in different groups. She did some theater stuff. So she was always into performance art. So she was like, oh, sick, I'll go check it out, because she heard about the company. And there's this company that basically would help you make a music video. And so they wrote the song.
Remember those in the mall? You could, not in our mall, but in malls, you could go in there, you could make a music video. You're like, blah, blah, blah.
Victoria, we're not talking about a green screen where you pick the whatever's going on behind you. We're talking a music video. And look, it's not like the most high quality. Yeah, it's stupid. But she was talking about how crazy that experience was, because then she's a 13-year-old that didn't even write this song, and then basically the internet hates her. And so it was, terrible. Yeah, it was tough for the kid to grow up in.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, dude. And she had to get pulled out of school for a couple of years because also she was going and doing a bunch of different stuff. But she's now releasing her first full-length album. and she's going on tour for it. I think she just released it.
She
and
played
she's
the
going on
long
tour.
game.
Well,
what she
yeah,
did.
she seems to be doing all right, but it's like, dang, dude, being a 13-year-old and basically having the entire internet say,
Hate you.
we don't like you. Yeah, that would be insane.
Well, it's kind of one of those things, though. It's like
Just
we
one
are
of those
not,
things, man.
we are not in this in a we're not used to this for technology. No one's used to it because you can become famous like
Give me
boom.
metal legs.
No,
I want
like
metal
her.
legs.
She's probably younger than you, right?
She's
and
25
she
right
gets she gets thrown
I'm
into this
22.
huge media thing. You never know when things are going to go viral, and we're not used to this. You think I'm just doing something stupid. That's why I'm terrified of becoming famous, because you never know what it could be, and then suddenly they're just like, now we're all interested, and you're like, they're tearing apart your life. They're finding your emails and your phone number and your address and everything because somebody's interested for some reason. Whether it's negative or positive, who knows? There's gonna be both, but we don't know the large swing of it. So it's just like, this is not a normal human thing that we're used to for a long time, where we're protected, everybody's protected against it. It's insane.
Yeah.
So it's just like, keep your kids aware of the fact that, like, explain it like this. Open up a phone book and imagine that you're broadcasting to all of these people, that person, and read the names to them. All of these people in all of this phone book are seeing what you're doing. Are you okay with that? Are you safe? And the answer is no. It's going out live. No, you're not safe. You have to teach your kids, but nobody's telling them. It's not like, oh, this little 13-year-old girl and it's so sweet and everything. Not everybody's going to come from that opinion. There are going to be tons of people that come at that opinion like, fuck 13-year-old girls, idiots. Like, why are they even on here? They're just going to be aggressive. That's life.
Her parents were actually very cool, and they shielded her from like all the legal troubles that came of it too, because there was obviously going to be legal troubles and different feuds going on between the production company and her, the people that basically produced it. So yeah, I mean, going viral was a very difficult journey for her, but she's come out better for it. But you just never know when things go viral. I mean, it can turn out terribly. I mean, the biggest viral moment that I remember was when COVID went viral, and you know, it basically decimated the population.
It's like, why?
And China produced. Just let's cancel it. And China produced it.
Okay.
We're like, okay, see you later. Bye, guys.
Jesus Christ, dude.
We're done.
Good
done.
All right, let's keep the racism to a minimum here, please.
We have day jobs we gotta keep, guys. Come on.
Look, I'm not gonna deny my ancestry, Frank, just for someone like you.
Oh yeah.
Don't you hate it when your white privilege comes up like vomit?
Do we
Everyone's like, Jesus.
Can we do these lights? Can we change the? 'Cause it's like so white.
Yeah, I'll adjust it.
I'm like,
You gotta have the news anchor level of makeup under the lights. You know, we're
that's
like,
so much better. Thank you.
if we were there in
But it
person,
messed
we're
up
just
the
like, what
background.
are you doing?
Okay. Maybe. Okay.
You know what I started using?
Hmm.
The Jergens
Worse.
everyday gradual tan.
Getting better. Okay.
And I'm so naturally white. It was like, after a few days, you should see color. I saw color the next day.
There.
There we go. And that's why I was laughing so hard in the morning. In like a week, you should see color. Like, I'm so white. I rub one strip of it on, and it's like, boom, bitch.
New color.
It was hilarious.
Mike's disgusting.
What have you been doing? No, it's probably Lil.
Yeah, it
She's
is.
like rubbing on it, like, fuck you, fuck you.
No, it's anything soft, dude.
He really seems to like this thing. I'll just get my hair all over it. Make me reminded of my authority. Jeez.
He is.
Are we gonna talk about a book?
Do it. Let's pull up our.
I already know the outline. So,
See if you do.
Maybe Danielle doesn't know the outline.
yeah, but it's easy.
Leader of the company. I already know the stats. You're like, literally worked on that for like a month. They're like, no, it's fine. I already know them. Should I just leave? They're like, if you want, if you're gonna keep talking. I want to run this company.
I didn't understand anything Victoria's talking about. Anyway, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
Another episode of Unseasoned Reviews.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. So as you know, we review books here, and this week we are reviewing book 3 in the Night Angel Trilogy. The book
By
is
Brent
called...
Weeks.
Yep, Brent Weeks. Book is called Beyond the Shadows. Brent Weeks... Yes, it is.
Oh,
I was like, excuse me.
Just go.
Dude, I messed it up so many times.
Oh, really?
So many times. Well, last
You're like-
podcast, I messed it up like 18,000 times because I
We
didn't know what the
kept
book was called.
correcting him, like, no.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes.
Yeah. There's too many shadows, man. But, yeah, Brent Weeks wrote it, talked about him a little bit. He has 3 series, but 2 of them are related to the Night Angel. He wrote the Night Angel Trilogy, which is what we're talking about. Then he wrote the Kylar Chronicles or something, the Kylar stories. And then, but he has a different series called the Lightbringer. It's the Lightbringer series, and it's got
I read
5
the
books
first
in
one.
it.
Yeah.
Good? Not good?
It's good. It's confronting.
Brent Weeks is. Yeah.
He really is. The descriptions in it, like being in a prison,
I can just see your face.
cutting your
I know
skin
you're-
open, stuffing some hay in there to
Alright.
get the.
We're not reading it.
It's a, yeah.
You're
That's what I'm saying. I was trying to give you a little taste of like you're reading it like no, and he's like, but I have to do it, and then you're like, okay, and then it's like, and then he discovers that it doesn't actually get him out of there
Stop
to get
it.
the sickness. He gets stuck in another prison,
Okay.
and you're like,
Tori's an asshole. That's
I went
all
through
I'm
all
gonna
of that,
say.
and then you just put the
First
book
it's
down.
spiders, and now she's talking about fucking.
I was
Christ,
trying to
Victoria.
tell you,
Hey,
it's worse.
Hey, okay, I'll take your word for it from now on. How about
It's
that?
Logan in the
Don't-
hole for prolonged period of time.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, man. I love being in the holes for long periods of time, but
But you just can't. You can't deal. I mean, you're not equipped for it, are you? Fine.
The dark path, people. Let's move on.
We have problems. If you didn't know that already.
that's why we like Brent Weeks, man, because he's got problems too.
He's got a little.
Hey, he
Yeah,
is a
a little
redhead from
deeper.
Montana, so make it much
Alrighty.
worse.
God, life must have been real
That
difficult
is
for him.
point 2 in our podcast outline is disparage the author. So successfully completed.
No.
Yes, success.
We've written all the bad reviews on it as well from different
I wrote
different emails.
about 5 different Amazon reviews just shitting on the book.
Whatever.
I called Brett Weeks. And I was like, "Hello, is this Brett Weeks?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You suck." And then I hung up.
Victoria would be the worst person to like call. Because then she'd call right back and be like,
Hello?
I was kidding. I'm sorry.
I was
like,
kidding.
You're the
You don't
greatest.
suck. When I said you suck, I didn't mean it. You want to hang out? He's like, no. I'm like, okay.
I do.
Want to go bowling? I suck at it, but
Bowling's actually really fun.
It is.
I know. But
Oh, why
you
it has a
kept getting
bad
mad
rep.
at me the last time we went.
I did?
Yeah.
Because you sucked?
No, because I was good, but I didn't want to be as good as it was happening. It shouldn't
I
have
wasn't mad
happened.
at you.
was
Yeah, you
Why
were
are you
like,
saying I was mad at you?
well, you're mad because you're like, you're not trying. And I want to beat the best. And I can tell that you are better than you are. And I was like, yeah, but Lexi isn't doing very well. And so I'm trying to help her.
Oh,
Confidence.
that's not.
And then you're like, that
You
is not the way
set that
competition
story up.
works. And I was like, I feel like this is the way.
set that story
Yes,
up.
she was.
So
Did you
no,
see she kept getting
stop
further
for a
and
second.
further
Stop.
away?
Stop for a second.
And I was like, Lexi, everyone's
for a
bad
second.
at bowling. It's not a family awesomeness. I was like, come back over here. And so I was like trying to show that
Victoria's
it doesn't
completely
matter. I don't
stopped.
care to win.
I know she's.
Hold on, you're.
Hello.
We did it.
We did it. We did it. Oh. Lexi didn't feel good, and I was made
no,
her feel better.
oh,
and by the end, she
okay.
felt really confident in herself. And I was
fine
like,
with that.
nailed
I'm
it.
fine with that. What I'm saying
Nailed
is,
it. What?
you set that up as in I got mad at you for being better than me, and
Not better than you.
but that's how you
just
set
not
it up.
giving you enough competition. Because you were
Either-
doing really good.
either
And
way,
then we were the top two. And then I started to backslide because I was like, she's like, I suck at this. That's what she kept saying. I suck at this. And I was like, dude, everyone sucks at this. I don't even know why I'm doing good. And then Frank was like, you go up there and you fail out your first roll again. I'm not happy with it. This is a competition. Because every time you come back in with a spare. Okay. And I was like, I'm doing well, Lexi. And he's just like, that's not the way. I want to be the best. And I'm like, it's not about you. And he's like, yes, it is.
obviously that definitely took place. And
No,
all of
it's
that
not.
is
That was
true.
the whole vibe. I was just like, I'm
he's
trying to make
like,
Lexi
I'm
feel
going
good.
to win, and I'm gonna win knowing you tried your best. I want to completely
Yeah.
crush you.
Yeah,
I understand.
I understood. I understood where he's coming from, but I was just like, well, Lexi's feelings are more important than your feelings right now. So, I'm sorry.
Your
Sometimes you gotta
feelings of
choose.
wanting to be a champion.
Well, she never joins up with us and gets together. And I was just like, I know that feeling. Like, I just, like, I can't do this, you know? And it's just like, of course you can, because nobody cares. We just want you to be here. We just want you to
have
be
fun,
having
yeah.
a good time. That's it.
All I'm saying is all this came off a vibe. So obviously all of the things that were said were true, and I'm a horrible person. So let's just.
No, you're not.
Wait,
you just did it.
The point of this conversation.
Frank was just like,
I
yeah,
disparage
like Danielle
people
said, he
constantly
had
on
his own
vibes.
thing.
That's why I don't like Brett Weeks. You have red hair and you're from Montana. You have bad vibes, dude.
Yeah. I
Idiot.
really love red
Right.
hair. I think it's so pretty.
I don't. I don't like any hair though. So I shared my body.
Everybody's just like,
This says a lot about you.
cool, cool.
All right, Brent Weeks.
Who's that?
He's a guy. He's got a cat.
He does have a cat.
Or he,
Douche. So
maybe he
Last
does it.
last book was called Beyond Shadow's Edge. It was called Shadow's Edge. I can't. Here, Brett. How about this, Brett? Stop putting shadow in every goddamn title. How about that? Because I don't fucking know what they're called. This one's
We've written
called
50 reviews.
Shadow
negative
1,
reviews,
Shadow
just
2,
because
Shadow
of the
3.
title.
Yeah. Idiot. Book number 2 is called Shadow's Edge. Let's give a quick little summary what happened there.
Recap. Okay.
Let's say more words that are synonyms of a summary. Let's go.
Recap. Go Danielle. You're losing the trivia. It's like 15
Synopsis.
seconds left. Danielle. Come on, we've lost the game. God damn it.
Anyway.
I didn't know we had played.
Anyway. Okay, so what the book act gives for book number 2 says Kylar Stern has given up the way of shadows for a life of peace, but when an old ally returns, Kylar must make a deadly choice. In the second novel of the Night Angel Trilogy, Kylar Stern rejected the assassin's life. The God King Gareth
No,
Orsul.
no, talk slower. I can't understand what you're saying, and I can't remember the book either.
The God King's successful coup has left Kylar's master Durzo and his best friend Logan dead. He's starting over, new city, new friends, new profession. But when he learns that Logan might actually be alive and in hiding, Kylar is faced with an agonizing choice. Will he give up the Way of Shadows forever and live in peace with his new family, or will he risk everything by taking on the ultimate hit? Okay, so book number 2. We learn that Logan's still alive. He's living in the pit. He has befriended a woman down there that is staying alive.
Lily?
Correct, yes. Her name's Lily, and she is staying alive by having sex with the men down there, basically giving up her body. Logan is struggling to survive, and Lily just tells him, you have to find something to live for and then hold on to that, and everything else is about survival.
It all the way.
Yep.
Deep down.
So Logan ends up befriending her. Kylar is off with a doll girl named Eileen, and Uli. Uli is a young girl that is the daughter of Durzo and Mama Kay. They all go to a new city to basically start over. Eileen doesn't want Kylar to kill anymore. Basically says, don't kill her, I won't be with you. They're talking about getting married. Kylar tries for a long time not to do it, but then he ends up going back to his way because he sees people being stalked by criminals and people going to be killed. So Kylar ends up killing some people, and then Jarl comes back to that city and tells Kylar, hey, Logan's still alive, and we need you to go and kill the God King because otherwise he's going to ruin everything. And so Kylar tells Eileen, he leaves a note for Eileen that he's going to go. He's sorry he couldn't do it. He couldn't give up his old way of being a wet boy. But the woman apprentice of what's his name? Hugh Gibbet. Hugh Gibbet shows up to kill
Giblets.
Kylar, and or Jarl. She's kind of got a double hit.
Sovari.
What?
Vi. So isn't her name Vi Sovari?
Her name's Viridiana.
And her last name is Sovari.
I don't know. Who cares? Vi she ends up killing Jarl and then runs away, can't kill Kylar.
This is the worst book report.
This is way too much information.
It is. I don't know.
I know.
It's way
like,
too
why
much.
are you
I'm sorry.
doing this?
I got into it.
And then
Here's what happens. Okay? We'll do this quickly. Okay.
That's what you said last time.
Shut your mouth. Kylar ends up with Vi because Vi is being compulsed by the God King because she is actually the God King's offspring. She has a thing of compulsion to listen to him, so he can make her do whatever he wants because she is his offspring. This sick lady, Mage Ariel, tells Vi all of this about how it works, and the only thing that can break it is her finding something else that is stronger than that compulsion. What ends up happening is Vi ends up marrying Kylar by using these wedding rings that they place in their ears, which breaks the compulsion.
He forcibly rings Kylar. She forcibly rings Kylar. So Kylar's big arc is that he's trying to be a better person, but he's falling back into his assassin's ways. Or not assassin's, wet boy, but it's anyway. And it's what he knows. And so he's falling back into that. Jarl comes along and it's like, dude, you got to kill this God King. It's not good. But Vi ends up killing him because she's compulsed to do it. She kills Jarl, one of the only friends she ever had. Then when Kylar runs away, he leaves these rings to say to Eileen, hey, I love you. I want to marry you. But there's this one last job. It's the one last job. You're on the one last, you never go for the one last job because it always screws everything up.
Yep.
There's always one last job, right? Kylar's like, I'm not a part of this business anymore. And they're like, one more job, dude. And he goes for it. But he reassures Eileen. He's like, dude, I'm coming back. I love
I'm
you.
committed to you.
I want
got
to be
these
with you. I
rings.
sold my best sword to get you these damn rings. You know why? Because I love you and I want to marry you.
I don't
But
think
you
he
need to
was
let
coming
me...
back.
Yes, he was. He was gonna go kill the God King, save Logan, and be like, "What's up, Aline? Bitch, love you. What do you want to do?" But he thought maybe Aline wouldn't accept him because she had kind of ultimated him.
Yeah.
That's our first
Ultimated
disagreement.
him.
First disagreement.
Anyway, it
That
doesn't
is
matter.
not.
It
No,
doesn't
it does
matter.
matter. No, we're not stopping there. We're not stopping there. I'm
my
going to
God.
say
I'm
this
not
because
stopping.
it's a
I'm
good
gonna
point.
keep going, and then
No,
you can
we're
disagree.
not skipping over this real quick. I just want to say that is not true. Kylar, and I'm going to give this point of dissent because I believe people will agree with me and they don't want you to misrepresent the books, and Brent doesn't either, his little stupid redheaded ass.
Okay, why?
Just saying, this is what
I imagine him on
Brent,
a tricycle now.
Brent, we love you.
He's like, I don't want you to disparage my books.
So
Like, kick him over. Shut up, Brett.
Kylar thought that Eileen would not accept him as a killer because she told him that and that he can't
Yeah.
kill. And Kylar was leaving the rings to show, I actually did love you. I wanted this
to quit.
work, and I wanted this to work.
But it
I
didn't,
can't
because
leave
this is
my
who I am.
assassin's life. Yes, and then he thought Eileen would not accept him, but the rings was to show, I did love you. I wanted to marry you. And
You're the
I just
only
can't
person
give
I
up
love.
this life. I can't give up this life is basically it. It's not that he's coming back. I'm just saying it's not.
It's this.
That's-
Okay,
you
I agree with
guys-
you now.
Yeah.
And you're like, stop. Don't change me, right? Don't try and
Mhm.
change me. Don't you ever try to change me, Aline. And she's like, you're not going to get any sex. And he's like, I never have.
I don't even know what I'm missing.
I never have. And then he storms out. And she's like, dang it. Well, anyway, that's what happened. So then Kylar's on the mission. He wants to go kill the God King. He wants to save his best and only friend that he ever first had, Logan.
Charles
And
literally his
he's-
first friend,
yeah,
but
no,
go on.
like, come on, you're messing everything
No,
up.
my first friend is Kylar. As Azoth, he was first from his draw. As
Azoth.
Kylar, his first
Don't even
friend,
know his name.
Azoth, I'm sorry. His first friend was Logan because he needed to be taught all the ways, and Logan did that. Taught him the ways to be an
Doesn't matter.
upstanding, considerably
I
upstanding
know.
Doesn't
citizen.
matter.
We're reviewing the wrong book. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying, keep
So-
going. You're doing a good job. That doesn't matter. Keep going.
Anyway. So Kylar goes off. He's gonna go kill the God King. He's gonna go save his friend Logan. And Vi finds the rings for Elaine. She takes them. Why does she take them? I can't remember. But she knows it's a bitchy thing. She's probably compelled to do it. I don't know why she did it, but she stole them, and she stole Uli, which is the worst name I've ever heard in my life. Yuli should be the name. Yulisandra. Anyway. Uli, she steals the rings. She kidnaps Uli. Heads off. Wants to make Kylar follow her. He does. And then, after Jarl's dead. And then, Vi encounters Sister Ariel, right? And Sister Ariel's like, bitch, you are compulsed. You know why you didn't want to kill Jarl? Because you were compulsed to do it. You didn't actually want to. But now, the only way to stop that are those rings right there. And it was like fate all came together. And she was like, yeah, whatever, I don't believe you. Sister Ariel's a badass though. So anyway, Sister Ariel sends Vi and Yuli off to the Chantry where she's from. How do you say it? Chantry? Chantry?
Yeah.
And Kylar comes along and he is like, holy Godfire pissed. He is so mad. He's like, my Jarl's dead. Freaking Yuli's gone. All this crazy shit's happening.
He doesn't know Yuli's dead.
left. Does he not know that? Anyway. Well, he knows by Sister Ariel.
Doesn't matter.
Keep going.
Sister Ariel says it.
Not
And
until
stop
later
saying
in the
that.
let's
book.
just
where I'm at.
go.
Okay, go.
Okay. No, I'm done now. You go. I'm bored.
Okay, so real quick. Vi ends up, when Kylar loses one of his lights, because Kylar can come back, because that's the whole thing with being the Night Angel, Vi puts the ring on Kylar's ear, and she knows it's wrong because they call it mind rape, basically, because she's forcing him into this marriage that he's not agreeing to because he's literally
Classic.
dead at the point.
Classic,
But it
yeah.
does end up breaking the compulsion, so that way Vi and Kylar can kill the God King, Orsul, Gareth Orsul. because Gareth is an evil man, obviously, and he has taken a bunch of people that have turned them into statues, and he takes the women and just rapes them and stuff. So obviously he's a horrible, horrible person.
Awful.
They're trying to bring back the goddess Kali. She comes back as well. This is Gareth Orsul's goddess, very powerful and everything. But Kylar and Bai end up killing Gareth Orsul. Logan ends up escaping the pit. He is the rightful king, if you remember, because he married the old king's daughter before Gareth Orsul came in and killed off the king. Logan is going to take back control of the Cenaria.
He can't.
I'm getting there.
I know. Okay, go. Tara Grayson, I hate it. Okay, going.
Yes. Logan escapes the pit. He's going to take back control of the Cenarian army, but Tara Grayson, just some character, doesn't matter. She ends up taking control of the army as well. And Logan and Tara seem like they're going to fight each other to take control of the army. Logan, being the rightful king that he is, says, nope, I won't basically cause a civil war right now. Joins Tara Grayson. They join the army. They have a one united force. Tara Grayson's a big B to get back at Logan because she knows that the people love him. She sends Logan front lines. You're going to die in the first charge. Logan doesn't die. Duh,
Suck
of
it,
course.
You dumb bitch.
They end up fighting the God King's army. While the God King is watching this, that's when Vi and Kylar kill him. And the army is actually losing. Logan's army is losing.
Why are we
because
doing this whole book?
I have
real
no
quick,
idea.
I want people to know what happened. I'm right there. Just shut your mouths. And the army ends up they bring back this weird monster creature that is destroying the Cenarian army, Logan and Tara Grayson's army, the good people's army, and you find out that it is the girl Lily has been turned into this monster. She's one of the creatures, and Logan is able to convince this monster. Yes, it's huge. It's a huge point, and it's cool. It's a cool turning point in the book too. Turns this monster into on the Caledorn's army. That's Gareth Orsul's army, and they end up winning the battle. So all seems to be better. Besides, Kylar is in a terrible situation because now he's married to Vi. That's book 2. Okay, so we're caught up. That's what happens. Now let's go over book 3.
Yuli. Also, Eileen kills someone. Is that in the third book?
Nice work. Now the sad part about this love story, now this is actually setting up book 3. The sad part about this love story is at the end of book 2, Eileen is taken prisoner, but she ends up realizing why Kylar has to do what he has to do, because there's evil people and Kylar's taking them out. And so now she is willing to accept
she's been
Kylar's
like, no, you can't take my
as,
B card unless you put down your sword.
Yes.
And
take up another sword.
Look,
Okay.
which sword are you gonna wield? It's up to you. And he chooses the steel one. And then Eileen kills someone, gets a huge bloodlust from it, and it's like, Kylar's got the right idea.
Well, I wouldn't say that. She is put into a position where she has to protect another human life and make that choice. And then that's what makes her realize, like, oh,
sometimes the right decision is a violent one. And that's an unfortunate fact of life.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's good. It all comes together. It's devastating. Dan Britt Weeks, he's a tortured soul, because you're like, she realizes what he has to do. She'll accept him. But guess what? He's married to someone else.
He's married to Vi Sovari.
One important detail you guys didn't talk about is those rings aren't just earrings that are pierce your ear to say you're married. They talk about it in book 2.
Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
No, say what you're gonna say.
Let's just get to book 3, because you know what? It's 3 minutes to our. We're supposed to be done time.
Okay, let's go quick then. Let's.
All right, Beyond the Shadows. I've got the book right here in my hands.
Go.
Logan Gyre is king of Cenaria, a country under siege. With a threadbare army and little hope, he has one chance, a desperate gamble, and one that could destroy his kingdom. In the north, the new God King has a plan. So we got a new God King going on. If it comes to fruition, no one will have the power to stop him. Kylar Stern has no choice to save his friends and perhaps his enemies. What's that mean? I don't know. He must accomplish the impossible. Assassinate a goddess. So that's where we're at.
That is where we're at. Goodness.
Now, how do we set this up? Because it's like, what's too far?
Everything.
It's okay. We'll set it up like this.
Okay,
So,
Victoria, you give us enough to show the people they should read this book.
they should. That's a bit tall order. Anyway, so
You got to do it. 2 minutes.
here are our players right now. So we got Logan and Tara Grayson having a little battle out because Tara Grayson does not want to give up power. Logan's trying to... It's basically kind of a ragtag army at this point. Cenaria's been devastated by the God King, so Tara's force is almost like a rebel force. So think of a small force, right? They can't just gamble with their people. They're gonna lose if they do that. Tara doesn't want to give up power, but she's not great at her job. She's not great at being queen. But Logan does kneel to her because he doesn't want to cause any more strife and turmoil in what's left of Cenaria.
Right.
So he does kneel to her and he follows her instructions. And Tara keeps sending him on more and more difficult missions to try and kill him. So we got those two going on right now. They're battling it out. Then we have Eileen, who... She finds Sister Ariel, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, go Danielle.
She ends up going.
Say Eileen's story.
She ends up going to the Chantry after she escapes. Right? She's escorted there
Mm-hmm.
by someone. And
What? Somebody.
we'll talk about.
Somebody's coming. Who could it be? Why are you talking like that? Somebody's coming. It's kind of creepy. Somebody.
It is kind of creepy. But anyway, so she gets escorted to the Chantry, and where Vi and Eileen's story intersect, and Sister Ariel ends up telling. I think anyway. So
She tells Eileen.
yeah, what Vi did,
Mhm.
and then she tells her, like, Vi has said, it's totally your choice. Her life is in your hands. If you want her to die, Vi is going to accept that because Vi is so remorseful of what she did to Kylar, and
that'll be the only way to break the wedding rings
yes,
that they've
Right.
got.
right, and now at this point, you got to remember, Eileen has accepted Kylar's life, and she wants to fully accept who he is and be with him. But Vi is the one married to him and shares thoughts with him. So you have that going on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So you have that little story going on. And then what's the other?
I'll go. I got one.
Go,
Dorian's
go.
story.
Dorian.
Go. It's so good.
Yes. Now, Dorian, if you remember, we find out in book number 2 that Dorian is actually one of the offspring of Gareth Orsul. We can also
He's
learn
the first. He's the first.
Okay. Interrupt me
That's a
more
big
so we
deal.
can take more time. So,
It's cool.
it is cool, but we don't only have limited time. So, Gareth Orsul, you learn from book 2 that he has a bunch of offspring, and that he's always worried about them trying to assume control from him because they are also powerful. They also use the thing called it's not called the Kakari. The
Bearden.
the Bearden,
Yeah,
the
the
Ver.
Ver. They say Ver.
Yes, which is their
But he also
magical
puts them through
abilities
a bunch of trials
to
that they
make
have
sure
to
that
surpass.
they can actually withstand the Ver, whatever.
and they have to beat so many to even be considered a son of his. So
Yeah,
he'll
a
have
true
sons
son,
everywhere.
a true son.
A true son, yeah. He won't
Yeah.
acknowledge them
He
until they're like
acknowledges the
super
ones
powerful,
that
basically.
can handle the Ver, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the first ones and the most powerful is.
Victoria.
Shut your goddamn
Sorry,
mouth.
just, you're not setting it up.
She's trying.
there's-
You keep interrupting her.
Okay. So Dorian is one of these offspring. He's the first one. Dorian was going to be powerful, but then he betrays the God King because he knows that it's wrong of what Gareth Orsul wants to do, which is control the world. So Dorian has been helping to overthrow him this whole time. Now, Gareth Orsul is dead. all the offspring are now trying to take control of what Gareth Orsul had. Dorian's journey is now going back to try and figure out, well, it's kind of by accident, but he ends up going on a journey to try and ends up battling for rule of the God Kingdom, because he realizes, like, it basically becomes like, this is the best path, because if I'm in control, I can make this better
and make better decisions.
The
only reason he went on that path,
Yes,
is a vision about a woman that he was supposed to love and marry.
and which woman is it, you
Which
ask?
woman is it?
Now, the cool thing with Dorian that you're going to see in this book is when people do end up taking power, or taking power of a smaller power to get bigger power, whatever it is, they don't always make the right decisions. And Dorian's going to make some bad decisions. Now, the question is Dorian going to end up like his father, God King Orsul, where he's just a ruthless dictator, essentially? Or is he going to still be the prophetic, wise, caring individual that we saw through books 1 and 2? That's Dorian's journey. Very cool,
And then
very powerful.
It was very cool. Then we have this offshoot, which is really good. And it's kind of subtle at first, but it's the Verdmeisters and Kali. So one of the top Verdmeisters is Nef Dada. I don't know. Dada.
Yep.
And he is trying to literally get Kali a body. He wants her to be able to actually physically walk on the earth, because right now she is a force, like an unseen but felt like force.
And she has power
visceral.
over the world, but she's no physical body.
Oh yeah, and they pray. Caledorians pray to her, or Caledorans pray to her every time they commit any act of violence, because all Kali is looking for is misery, any negative emotion ever. And the stronger that negative emotion, the better. So you can imagine murder and worse, and anything bad. So they're praying to her all the time. So she has a lot of power, but what she doesn't have is a body. So Nef Dada is a super old, way beyond his years, Verdmeister. Now what that means is he has an insane amount of power, but it's not as powerful as the ancestors who basically set up this entire world, who used to live before. One thing that we find out is Durzo has a connection to that ancient power, but those ancient people, kind of like what we would say Merlin is like, ancient magicians and powerful people. What that connection is, I guess you'll have to read the book to figure it out. But Nef Dada is trying to break one of those ancient spells, because if he can, he'll be in a specific place, where he'll have enough power to get Kali a body. But the problem is, if Kali ends up in a physical form, she's going to have even more chance to wreak havoc, and she will most likely rule the entire world, and it will be miserable, and it'll be a hellscape.
And that's the bad guy's big play. Just right there.
Big play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there's another offshoot that we haven't talked about of Solon and his journey, and how he becomes.
Love him so much.
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Do you love Solon? I love Solon.
Yes, and there's so many offshoots of, like, there's so many characters that you could write additional books about, of like their
that
backstory.
You want.
Yes. Yes.
I want an additional book on what's his name? What's the sword master?
I know.
I want to know what he's done.
Oh, same.
You gotta read the book if you want to know this stuff.
I know.
So good.
Name. It's like Lon or something.
It's something short.
Fear. And
Fear.
we have Fear, and we have
That's not his
the
name.
other guy. Feir.
Yeah, Fear.
And the other...
yeah, but that's not the swordsman.
No, and then it's a T.
I don't know. It's like Fear and L.
I don't know.
Hang on.
So good. It's so good. And
It's so good.
how Solon becomes the wave rider, and
and he goes and he meets. Oh my gosh, they have an empress in this book, which, bitch, that's what I say all the time. Everyone's like, you're a princess.
Garawashi.
Lantano Garawashi. Garawashi is the freaking sickest character that everybody wants. Cool. You know when you watch a Netflix series or any kind of freaking series, and you're like, great. It's wonderful. It's awesome. I love watching it. This freaking guy, Garawashi, is the one guy that you're like, why don't they write a whole show on this person? You want the books on his life. You want the books on now, later. He fights Kylar in this book. It is one of the coolest things I've ever read before because Garawashi has this weird warriors mentality, rules, and honor that he follows, and it's insanely.
Well, it reminded me of the Demon Cycle series and the desert guy. Can't think of his name.
The Creations, Jardir.
Yeah, Jardir and him reminded me very much of each other and their like laws of this ruling.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other
like
cool
they
thing,
will not. They won't do certain things. They won't battle at a certain point. Like they have all these weird rules that you wouldn't think are like honorable, but then when you realize it's two forces that are so powerful battling against each other, like they live by that because they know that they're powerful. Like there is no sense of ego at that point because they are just knowledgeable that they themselves and the person that they're battling is at a high proficiency level.
And
so
the
it's crazy.
In the book where his sword is tested is so good. It's like, what is happening?
I love it. Okay, stop
real
it.
quick,
Okay?
real quick.
Go read the
So two more real quick things. The reason why Kylar ends up even fighting Lantano is because Lantano, you learned in book 2, had stole the Blade of Sirach, which is the Blade of Heaven. It's an ancient blade. Kylar is ruled by the wolf. The wolf has told Kylar, because Kylar lost his arm, I will give, or his hand. It's his arm, right? His whole arm? His hand? I can't. Doesn't matter. He loses he loses part of his arm or his whole arm. Kylar is told by the wolf, if you go and get the sword, Sirach, throw it into the...
Sirach? Go on.
Kurok, and you throw that into the forest. The forest is the place that nobody goes because if they go there, they instantly die, essentially. It's guarded by a hunter. That's what we know. That story's going to play out. But if you go and do that, so the hunter can guard that sword, if you get the sword, throw it in there, I will give you your arm back. So that's why Kylar ends up even fighting Lantano. The other cool thing that we didn't really mention is that Durzo Blink comes back, and we learn that at the end of book 2. So Durzo was granted one more life by the wolf because Durzo was the one that was controlled by the wolf, and the wolf is the one that gives him his life back. And he says, for old time's sake, I'm going to give you one more go around. So Durzo comes back into the story.
And that is a great hint for old time's sake, because the question is for you guys, you got to read the book to figure it out, but how old is Durzo?
Yep.
He's the one that trained Kylar. He's got this weird sense of, he's got his own sense and rules of life and everything. Where does he fit into this?
Well, we know
story?
he's like at least 700 years old because there's the ancient.
You can't say that.
No, Victoria was in book 2.
Yeah.
The ancient mythologies.
They haven't read it yet.
We're on book 3. But you learn that Durzo was these ancient characters that Kylar had learned, had heard all these stories about, and you learn Durzo was those people, and he just changed his name throughout history as he was reborn. So we know Durzo
like
has this ancient, he's got this ancient history, and he comes back. Now, the question is, what role is Durzo going to play?
When the moment that he comes back, were you guys reading like, oh, did you do that? Did you go like, oh shit?
You mean when he read the letter at the end of 2?
Durzo. When Vi was like fighting him, and then suddenly she's like, you're Durzo, and you were like, shut the fuck. I literally put the book down. I was like, don't even do this to me. I should know this, but I have terrible.
You mean when he first appeared?
I was like,
yeah. Durzo is a badass. He's a total badass.
There's so many characters that are.
Yep, and you get to learn a little bit of why Durzo did the things that he did to Kylar. And
oh man,
the relationship.
You realize it could have been so much worse.
Yep, and you get to see a little bit of the relationship between Durzo and Kylar now that Durzo has come back. It's very good.
It's a very good book.
Very good.
He's like the only father that Kylar has ever known.
Yep. So basically, we got stories everywhere. We got a love triangle going on, of course. There's actually even more love stories than that too. There's
so many good love stories.
Yep, a couple more love stories in there.
Cade, is that how you say her name? Amazing. Love her.
I think it's Cade.
She's so powerful.
What
she said to her mom, I was like, your mom is messing with your life.
How did they pronounce?
Oh, she just goes.
I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
So good.
So please read the
Read
book.
the book. It's so good.
Brent
It
Weeks,
is.
we love you.
Tell us what you think.
Yes, absolutely. Leave a like, leave a comment. And so for next week, we wanted to change it up a little bit. We've been reading very dark, deep series. We're going to go something lighter.
Awful.
We are going to read The Princess Bride. We've all seen the movie.
Yeah.
We love it.
Danielle's recommendation. Great recommendation.
Yes.
Amazing.
I'm excited.
Yep. And
I've already got it. I got it for the library.
yeah, they already have it too. So we're good to go. We have the physical book too. So I'm going to read the physical book.
Yeah.
But we'll be reading that. So if you want to read that as well, or if you already have, listen in to the next episode where we'll be talking about that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to our weird, long, rambly explanations of book 2, which you could have just saw last episode. But thank you for being here for the explanations of book 3.
We included more.
And I feel like we did. Anyway, I don't know. I don't edit this podcast. That's Frank's job. So thank you so much for being here. And please tell us what you think. Tell us if you read The Princess Bride already. Yeah, so next week we'll come back with that, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
And do some spoilers of this book.
Yeah.
Sick. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.